Hi YouTube, I hope you're all doing well. So something I wanted to cover, and I think I wanted to cover it for quite a while now, is body image. And I think this really goes for everybody. I think everybody at some point has an issue with their body image, whether or not they've got Crohn's, whether or not they've got an ostomy, whether or not they choose to have cosmetic surgery like I've done recently. And it's something I really wanted to touch upon because I think it's quite an important topic to cover. So I think I've always had a real issue with my body image. I was really ill when I was 8 years old, and I lost a lot of weight before I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I was really skinny. And then once I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease, I got put on a steroid called prednisolone, and literally seemingly overnight I put a lot of weight on. I had a lot of water weight around my face. My appetite went through the roof, so I was eating a lot and putting a lot of weight on through eating a huge amount of food. It just seemed that no matter how much I ate, I never seemed to feel full up. And then whenever they would start to bring me off my steroids, they'd lower them down slowly. My Crohn's disease came back, and again I was very ill. I went back to not eating very much. I did not feel well at all, and I ended up losing all the weight that I'd gained and getting quite skinny again. At which point I'd go back to the hospital and they'd put me on steroids again. And again, the weight would just come straight back on, and I'll insert some photographs, if I can find them, of how my weight really fluctuated by extremes in a really short space of time. So this kind of happened over a period of years. So I got diagnosed when I was 9 years old. And I even remember this up until I was about 15. I remember walking through the shopping centre, my local shopping centre, and you know, kind of I could see some kind of guys like checking me out, and then within 2 weeks I was back on the steroids. I'd gained all my face back, my prednisolone moon face, and it was like I was invisible. And I think because of that, it was really hard for me, and it still is really hard for me to know what I look like, because when you look in the mirror, it's not always who you truly are or how you truly look like. You have like a perception of yourself that you kind of project when you look in the mirror. I think this is why when people are trying to lose weight, they say to take photographs so you can make a direct comparison rather than an emotional response when you're looking in the mirror. And I don't think, as I said before, I don't think it's just restricted to people that have had issues when they're younger with terms of, you know, gaining weight, losing weight. Everybody has them. You know, I don't know anybody that's ever looked at some photograph of themselves at some point and been like, wow, do I really look like that? And not been happy with who they are, and have either chosen to have cosmetic surgery or tried to lose weight or something to try and make themselves feel better about themselves. Now, while I'm all for like people being healthy and, you know, trying to better themselves, I think it's kind of, you have to be kind of careful, because I think that people think that once they're the ideal body weight or size or shape, or they get this cosmetic procedure done, they get that cosmetic procedure done, that they're going to be happy with themselves. And I think very much so that being happy with yourself comes from within. It doesn't come from how you look. You know, even people that you may idolize and think they've got the perfect body and they've got the perfect life, you know, they've always got something about themselves that they don't like. Literally everybody. And I think you've got to be careful when you're having any kind of cosmetic surgery procedure, or you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to gain weight, or you're trying to put more muscle on. You have to validate yourself from within first. And that's not to say that, you know, losing weight, gaining weight, trying to better your body, trying to be more healthy isn't good for you, because it can help you, make you feel better about yourselves. It's just not a fix. You know, you really have to try and live your life from within. And obviously I know that when I've gained weight, when I've lost weight, when I had my breast reduction surgery, at the end of the day I still feel like the same person inside. I think this is what used to really frustrate me when I used to gain and lose weight so quickly. I was literally the same person on the inside. The only thing that had changed was how I looked. And that to me was really frustrating, because I did see people treat me differently depending on how I looked. And I suppose I had the point of view that I could see that from a quite quick point of view, from going to being quite really skinny to like really fat in a really short space of time. I mean, not many people can gain or lose that much weight in that short space of time. So I really just wanted to say that it is quite difficult to have good body image and have a positive relationship with yourself, to try and validate yourself. Sorry guys, my battery died. So kind of following on from what I said in the previous clip, I think, you know, having positive body image is really important. But I think also being healthy is really important. And I think when a lot of people try to lose weight, it is because of how they look. But also, I think if people are like genuinely overweight, you just want to be healthy. It's something that I've kind of struggled with. I think from being ill and my weight fluctuations before, it kind of really messed with my metabolism. And now I find that it's quite difficult for me to lose body fat. And that's body fat, not weight, by the way. There's a difference. I find it hard to lose body fat without kind of going to extremes. Because when I am ill, even like, you know, when I've had surgeries, I've ended up losing quite a lot of weight. So when I say weight, I mean muscle and fat, which isn't ideal. But then again, after those surgeries, I completely lost my appetite. I wasn't even eating anything. So it's not surprising that I was losing so much weight then. And then as soon as I start eating normally again, the weight comes right back on, and I end up gaining some more. And it's kind of turned into quite a yo-yo-y thing, which is not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. I think I've always had quite an unhealthy relationship with food as well, because when I was 12, I was put on a liquid diet for over 3 months. I wasn't allowed to eat anything. And, you know, I ended up having to go and see a child psychologist at the time, because it really messed up my mentality with food. And so now I think I've got kind of unhealthy relationship with food. I like comfort eat a lot. And so I would probably say in the past few years, ever since I've got my Crohn's in order, I've got my ostomy. Since having my ostomy, it's also allowed me to eat healthily, whereas before I had to have quite low residue diet, so I wasn't allowed to have fruits, vegetables, brown rice, brown bread, anything with high fibre in it. So since having my ostomy, I've found that I can now eat more healthily. There's no real excuse for me to not eat healthily. So I have really been trying in the past few years to get my eating under control. I think I still do struggle with comfort eating quite a lot. And as you've probably seen from my other blogs, I've spoken about it a couple of times really briefly. I've really got into my fitness. So for the past year and a half now, I've been going to the gym on a really regular basis. That's, I suppose, in the past year I've been going on a very regular basis, where I've been doing weight training. I also do a couple of cardio classes. I also like doing yoga, and that's something I really enjoy doing. And by doing that, it's allowed me to gain quite a lot of muscle. But now I've gained maybe some more fat as well, and I kind of want to try and shred the fat. I know that your BMI score isn't by any stretch of the imaginations representative in a way that it shows if you are genuinely obese or not. I'm not saying that my BMI says I'm obese, but I would quite like my BMI to be in a normal range. And really, I just like to try and get my body fat percentage down. you know, whether or not my weight comes down as well, then that's fine. So I thought I would take you along on my journey with me while I kind of go through this. I will put some measurements up and we'll keep you up to date with how it all goes. I am used to kind of looking carefully at what I eat. I said I think I just need to really get more of a healthy relationship with food when it comes to like comfort eating, emotional eating. Obviously I'm going to keep my gym routine up because I'm quite happy with how that's going. I'm lifting some really heavy weights now. I just want to try and get some of the fat down. So yeah, so I just also like to point out that me losing weight isn't about having a bad body image. It's about trying to be healthy, and I think the two are two completely different things. And I also think that hopefully addressing my eating issues will help my psychological well-being at the same time. So I guess we'll have to see how it goes. So yeah, so as always, if anyone's got any comments, then please let me know. And until next time, I'll see you then.